Niggas elite, this a last sermon. Preacher gon' preach, soaking the world.
Building with somebody. So when do you think couples should like introduce finances? Like, say we kind of like the first day.
The first
okay,
day.
talk about it.
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Why would you waste either of your time?
Okay.
Right.
But the first day?
Yeah, the first day.
What are we talking about the first day? We're talking about monthly income, annual income. Are we talking about, or just goals? Like, in 5 years I want to be here. Like, what are we talking about on the first day?
I think one conversation people should have on the first day is the 50-50 conversation. What does that look like to this dynamic?
Okay.
Because you can't convince people out of certain things. Certain things people are already set in their ways. They've been influenced, whether it's red pill, their mama, their daddy, their great granddad. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's certain things that they're going to abide by. And there's no amount of love or time that's going to get them out of that,
Absolutely.
right? So you could go on 5 dates with people and then accept. My parents been married 33 years. My mom don't work. Thank you. My mom don't work. Well, she I don't want to say fake work, but she don't pay bills. That's what I'm saying. My mom doesn't pay bills. Never has paid bills, right? If she dated somebody else, I'm sure she would. Not that she would, but I'm sure she would have the same standard, right?
Right.
There's women out there that want to be kept. I don't knock that hustle at all whatsoever. But if you dating somebody who have a 50-50 mindset, you know you don't want to pay no bills, that's something y'all need to figure out in the beginning. Because he gonna waste money on a date with somebody who y'all never gonna see eye to eye on.
But my thing is this, right? And again, we talk about let's go back to group economics, strengths and weaknesses. I'm alleviating bills from you for what? How is this gonna put us where we want to be at in 5 years? You know, I mean, I'm just saying, like, realistically, because
it depends on what you're looking for in a partner, right?
Yes.
So if you're looking for somebody who you wanna, you have a business idea, you want them to be basically your secretary, you want them to just take care of the kids, you want to make sure when you get home dinner is done. If you didn't have that person, all of those things will cost you money.
Right.
I think when men say, well, if I'm paying all the bills, what am I getting? If the person is giving you other things, that is something that should be valued.
No, I'm not saying what am I getting. It's one of them. I'm not saying what's right. Like, what am I getting as an individual? I'm saying, how is that helping us?
That could be how she helped. It depends on.
Okay. Well, we still got this one.
It depends.
Yeah, that one did, but we still got it.
It depends on what you find value in. So, like my parents, for example, right? My dad used to be in the military, and then he's worked his whole life since he was like 14 or something. My dad found value in my mom cooking him dinner every day.
She made his day easier.
She made his day easier.
Right.
I don't think my dad ever really had to do laundry or anything like that. And my mom raised her kids. And I will admit, my parents turned out with 4 really good kids. One of my baby sister in RN school, she bought a house at 19. I own a business. My older sister's a doctor. My middle sister works for the state. None of us have any felonies. None of us have anything, crazy going on. So it probably was worth that investment for him. You know what I mean? So it depends on what the man finds value in. Now, if a man wants somebody to split bills with, let's be honest, what is the benefit for her?
More money. Because again, but see, I think when we have
y'all put me in
because I feel like when we have, because I feel like when we
now.
have these conversations,
You saying more money, right?
No, but I feel like there's a difference in the mind state.
Clean?
No, I don't mind cleaning. I don't mind cooking. I'm a hell of a cook, so I don't mind cooking, but I'm gonna do one or the other. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cook or clean. I'm not gonna do both. I don't mind cooking. I don't mind sharing household because I feel like we're trying to measure modern times with traditional values, and then there's a hiccup in there because, like you said, they were able to leverage paychecks at their jobs and go get houses. You know what I'm saying? And houses, they didn't cost that much back then.
Yeah,
they didn't need as much.
I think my parents' first house was like $40,000.
Didn't need that much. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now it's like you kind of need, like, you need 2
incomes.
You do need 2 incomes, even if you're one person. You still need 2 incomes as one person. So it's like, and then like you said, the social media is kind of like ruining our impression on things. So it's like, okay, well, if we want this, we can get it, but it's like you can't expect to leave me on zero. or me expect to leave you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a compromise.
It may not be zero, because if she does work, right? I do, and keep in mind, I do finance for couples all the time. Everybody run their stuff differently, is what I've learned. I just tell people, let the people tell me their system, and then I just try to give guidance off of that. But I have a couple right now, fairly young, they under 30. For 2 years she stayed home because they had 2 or 3 kids back to back. So they had like little kids. Instead of paying for daycare, it would have been cheaper for her not to work. She's went back to work, and he's like, we was living off our salary, so we're gonna invest her salary now, and they're gonna retire at like 47 or something like that.
Right.
Now their kids are going to college and things of that nature, and they could attend everything. If you got a kid in this state, that state, you could go wherever you want because they're retired, but they're giving up her $5,000-$6,000 a month salary for 20 years. A lot. So it's not that it depends on what those goals are. It's a trust thing. Now, if things go south, which is a conversation we had, and a lot of people don't want to have those conversations.
My fault.
No, okay. A lot of people don't want to have those conversations, but what do you do with all these savings if things don't work out? They decided that if that ever happens, they would do 25% would get put up for the kids' future, and then they would split what's left.
That makes sense.
Like, but it depends on the couple.
But I feel like a lot of people lead with well, this happened to me. Or, I feel like a lot of us lead so much on experiences. Well, I've been, this happened to me, I don't trust dudes with money, I don't trust women with money, do. So a lot of times we don't ever, you'll be like one in name and title, but not like all together. I feel like it's a pick and choose, because I don't care what woman it is, she's always going to have her a little fun somewhere. Women are never truly broke. Like a man will be like, this is it, this is everything. And a woman might even come to the table too, like, this is, but they're going to keep a little, and I'm cool with that, because I don't expect a woman to go 50-50 with me. I expect you to go match my effort. If I'm going all in with my effort, go all in with your effort. At least if we agreeing on this.
In my opinion, so we was talking about other people. You know what I'm saying? My personal opinion, I feel like 50-50 isn't a thing. Because there's going to be times where I did 80-20, or you did 60-40, or, let's say a woman have a baby. She ain't working for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever the case may be. There's still bills being due. So I don't feel like 50-50. I think it's just a conversation people have. But I do feel like people need to figure out what's important to them.
I agree.
I think they need to figure out, and they need to figure that out very early on. Not even just 50-50, but do you have any investments? Do you have any retirement? Because if you're talking to somebody who's 40 years old and they tell you no, they got a lot of catching up to do. That will take, if y'all just ever decide to further on and be together, that's going to take from either what you got going on or what they can bring in the household. Because hopefully, if you are a woman who's investing, you like, okay, like, we got to, you got to do something, right? So,
makes sense.
And sometimes dating is projects, and you got to figure out
longevity,
what you want to invest your time, money, or effort into. And if you talk to somebody and they be like, I don't got a bank account, I don't got no investments, I only been at, my job for 3 months. And if you a person who really values finances, it's never gonna work. It's certain things you can teach people, but it's very hard to teach from scratch. And they already got those habits.
So you trying to break them.
And you can't break men from their habits.
Vice versa.
I feel like it's way harder to break a man from their habits than a woman. A woman is more likely to listen. A woman is more likely to listen with logic.
But you saying that.
What? I feel like
but you're saying that with a father.
Yeah. That
plays a key. I think in both male and female on the mindset. Like you come from a married family, like your mom and your dad married. A lot of people don't come from that. So they see struggle mentality. They don't see thriving mentality.
I don't even think it's struggle mentality. I think it's a new word for it.
What's that?
I think people see hustle mentality. They just worry about how to get the money, not how to keep it. There's a lot of people like, my mama worked 3 jobs. Why?
That's not a flex. That's not a flex.
Like, what was going on that y'all had to work 3 jobs? Like, is she undocumented? Like, what was going on? Was she just a really, really hard worker and she wanted to work? Like, something had to be going on for her to do that. Or they'd be like, oh yeah, I do hair, I do this, I do that, and I got a job. Why? How about you just get really good at one of those things, or maybe 2, but you got 75 different hustles, and I'm assuming you can't be that good at all of them, or you would be talking to me anyway.
Right.